Hello, my name is Nick, and this is Daisyopals. Welcome to the channel. As you can see, I'm relaxing here, partying with all my affluent friends. I do have friends. We're celebrating because I've finally reached 1,000 subscribers. I have a very special stone to cut for the occasion, sent to me by Frank from Opalholics R Us. But before we get to that, I want to say a couple things. First of all, thanks Frank from Opalholics R Us. He convinced me to do videos once a week, and it's been super fun and working out well and keeping me very busy. Big thanks to Frank, and make sure you go check out Opalholics R Us. Make sure you go check out opalholicsrus.com. Make sure you check out his Etsy store and follow him on Instagram. He just made an Instagram too. Big thanks to my other contributors, Mike Boland, Bart Mills. Thanks to everybody who answers my questions, Frank, Mike especially. And thanks to all the people that kind of stop in and throw me advice in the comments or in my Instagram. This is just an awesome experience for me. And I have a lot of good stuff coming for the future, so stay tuned. I have better stones coming. I want to get you guys a better view of that opal actually being cut. I want to do some documentaries about opal and about opal cutters. Lots of stuff coming, so if you're new, please hit subscribe. Please subscribe, and if you're already subscribed, thank you so much, and stay tuned. Without further ado, let's get over to the, oh wait, one more thing. All right, this is the stone in question, the 1,000 subscriber stone. It looks like Lightning Ridge, but this is actually from Coober Pedy. And it's crystal opal, meaning it will be fully transparent. I've looked at this already a million times. I stare at it. I love the greens. I love the reds. Most of all, I love these hints of sharp blue that just kind of contrast everything so well. Another thing I know from looking at it under the light is I want to cut everything above this toothpick off. It's all just sandy and complicated and really not much color. Like you can see, it's just a big sand part. And then this looks like a large open area, but the sand kind of comes in here behind it. I'll show you what that looks like under a light. So yeah, that's step number one. I'm going to lop this off, all the useless parts. That's the plan. So step one, we'll take it to the wheels, lop this top part off, and then I'm going to take a look at the bottom. I'm also going to remove some of this back as it's just not going to be too useful, this sandy part. And probably, I'm guessing one of the sacrifices will be this whole area here. But hopefully not. We'll see. We'll see. Let's go over to the wheels. Sorry that the color is a little bit dark in this section of video. I put my exposure setting pretty low in order to get that super cool smoky black shot that you saw earlier, and I just forgot to turn it back up. So that's the top of the stone that I'm cutting down. Once again, it's the part that I showed you underneath the light. Just the sand in the way that I gotta lop off. I decided going for a longer stone rather than a short stubby guy, so I'm removing the higher part of the face to match the lower part. Now that most of the sand is gone, something is starting to take shape here. Okay, it's definitely time to dry this thing off and examine it a bit and make sure there's nothing important that I'm missing before I put it on a dopstick. For those of you new to opal, you can see a lot of details when the stone is dry that you just can't see when it's wet. There's three main issues that I have to solve. Number one is this crack, which will mean cutting off part of this area. And then there's this sand inclusion, which looks like I'll be cutting off to about here. The only other issue is this strange lip. Basically, let me get rid of this sand and this crack, and then we'll see where we're at and decide on a shape and then cut it out. And I think this problem will solve itself. Boom, back to the wheels. I definitely didn't have the water strong enough there for a second. Don't do that. Now I'm just going to get rid of that little crack at the tip that I showed you earlier. And I'm starting to build the edges here. I want a nice setting edge. So I want my edges 90 degrees from the bottom of the stone. Trying to get the top to a level that will allow for a more calibrated dome. I don't want this thing shaped like a mini golf course. I think right about here is when I decided the shape that I was going to get. All I would have to do is remove this little bit jutting out and it would become a beautiful, beautiful teardrop. Cutting shapes freehand like this can get difficult and tedious, but I think I've figured it out. I go with my gut 100% of the time. As the shape becomes more and more refined, the imperfections become harder to distinguish. If I get even a teeny inkling of an idea that an area needs to be reduced, I just give it a quick grind, and usually I'm right. Go with your gut. This looks about good enough for a dopstick. I've got the top, the sides, and the bottom all pretty much where I want them to be. I decided to do the bottom first so I can get a nice even top. I used to actually struggle a lot with making flat bottoms on my Dremel setup, and now it's so easy with the wheels. I just put the stone on a dopstick and spin. Going over the edges again with the dopstick to make them extra crispy and ready for a level setting edge. And now for the top. This shape is definitely not the easiest on the dopstick. When you get to the shorter angles, it wants to flip over really quick. The wheel wants to spin the stone for you. Gotta focus and keep it nice and controlled.
The shape of the dome is just about where I want it, but it's not smooth yet. For that, I'll go over to the 600 wheel and then on to polishing with the 1200 wheel, the 3000 wheel, and finally some cerium oxide to make it really shine. We're done here, and this thing is incredible. The pattern, I mean, come on, it's just amazing. It's so rich, and it goes so consistently across the whole stone. I guess this would be kind of the weak point, but it's so bright here, and it's got this incredible contrasting blue that just drips down from the top. It's just fantastic. The setting edge is just completely uniform. And that's going to make putting it into some jewelry a whole lot easier. And I think this will end up being a pendant. I'm not sure if it should go this way or this way. Let me know what you think in the comments. Anyways, I couldn't be happier with the cut. I couldn't be happier with the stone. Thank you, Frank from Opalholics RS, for sending me this gorgeous opal to celebrate my 1,000 subscribers. Anyways, yeah, subscribe if you're new. And thank all of you subscribers for being here with me up until there was 1,000 of you. Thank you so much. And have a great weekend, guys.